So E3 rolls around once more to insolently demand our attention like a street corner preacher with his knob out, so the developers can demonstrate to the world that they are in vague occasional contact with someone who can cut a half-decent trailer together, and for this reason alone we should fork out now for their overpriced grindy tat that we can't even play yet. Gathering once again in single file to have a good old splurge to camera are the usual suspects: EA, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo, and what was your name again? Microsoft. Oh yes, weren't you the guys who made that funny paperclip thing? Ostensibly, this year's conference was from the 12th to the 14th of June, but as seems to be increasingly common, most of the big lads did their shows beforehand. I guess if they tried to keep it in their pants a moment longer, they'd have started spooging out their nostrils. Interestingly, it was almost all games this year. None of the big boys were pushing hardware. Even Nintendo didn't bring out that Labo thing much. Not that I'm that bothered, because I'm a 35-year-old man and don't plan to spend a week putting together little origami pianos before making a sweary internet video about my paper cuts. EA started spooging first, a full 3 days early, with some more Anthem footage to make my eyes glaze over faster and more efficiently than ever. Still looks like they mulched together Mass Effect, Destiny, Titanfall, and Horizon Zero Dawn and spread it over a garage floor with an uninteresting broom. Did you see that pulse-pounding combat in action? Can't wait to point at an enemy, hold down the fire button, and stand there picking at my itchy bum crack until the damage indicator stopped coming out. Then Bethesda stepped up and said, "Who likes pre-rendered teasers that tell you fuck all?" Nobody. Well, nobody's gonna like this then. And we proceeded to learn precisely fuck all about Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Doom Eternal. We did get to see an only slightly less uninformative, painfully scripted Rage 2 video that I will only call gameplay footage because suffocating yawnfest takes slightly longer to type. So someone at Bethesda must have said, "We're making sequels to scrotum-pulverizingly good Doom and teabag-squeezingly forgettable Rage. Which one would people most want to hear about?" Well, I think that should be obvious. Haha, yes, I suppose it is. Oh fuck, now I'll look stupid if I ask again. We also very loudly and conspicuously didn't learn much about Fallout 76, except that it's online focused, so we can reliably infer the rest from what we know is already popular and easy to rip off. So, open world, survival, crafting, you know the drill, get ready to punch trees. But only now can you punch trees while wearing sporty Fallout brand blue. So roll over and yap like little dogs at supper time, you uncritical, butthole relishing, close relative molesters. My goodness, Microsoft's conference showcased a lot of games. Cyberpunk 2077, Just Cause 4, Metro Exodus, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Wow, are those all Xbox exclusives, Microsoft? No, none of those are. But you can play them on Xbox? Yes, Microsoft, we could, hypothetically, do that. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is apparently the game where we see Lara Croft become the Tomb Raider. Fuck you, Square Enix. That's what you said the last 2 times. She's been becoming the Tomb Raider for 5 fucking years. When is this whimpering cunt gonna get out of training bras? So what exclusives have Microsoft got? Well, there's Halo Infinite, which already isn't even the most interesting FPS sequel about a green Lego astronaut with a generic subtitle that means never ending. In contrast, Sony's show went for a quality over quantity approach with in-depth endoscopic looks up a small handful of first-party anuses. And forgive me if it seems like Sony are putting a lot of love eggs in the same basket, or asshole. I mean, first there's Ghost of Tsushima, a game about stealthing around an apocalyptic landscape killing thugs. Then there's Last of Us 2, a game about stealthing around an apocalyptic landscape killing thugs and being a lesbian. And then there's Death Stranding, a game about... What the fuck are you about, Death Stranding? Well, there was something stealth-like going on in an apocalyptic landscape, so I'm adding it to the pile. The more I see of Spider-Man, the less confidence I have in it. And I wasn't exactly foaming at the urethra in the first place, because every Spider-Man game they've made in years makes the same 3 goddamn mistakes. 1, terrible dialogue. 2, trying too hard to be like a Batman Arkham game. And 3, not being Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube. And the new trailer terrible dialogues its way through a sequence that is literally Batman Arkham Asylum, except with Spider-Man's shitty villains. And it blatantly isn't Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man 2 was a game, not a bunch of overblown scripted action sequences strung together like a line of colourful flags coming out of Stan Lee's dried up old man tits. Right, who else? Nioh 2 got announced, which was unfortunate timing because From Software announced their own feudal Japan Dark Souls game, namely Shadows Die Twice, and instantly removed whatever reason Nioh had to exist. Oh, and also Nintendo announced a new Smash sorry, halfway through saying the title I suddenly stopped caring. I suppose I could mention Ubisoft, but that feels like mentioning the colour of the wallpaper. They're always hanging about in the background, putting out their samey sandboxes with the clockwork regularity of an explosively copious period. New Assassin's Creed right on cue, set in ancient Greece, which makes sense because the ancient Greeks were really into buggery. But what made me choke on my sherbet was when the bloke narrating the gameplay video said, "For the first time you will be able to choose between a male and female hero." You what? Am I on crazy pills? Assassin's Creed Syndicate did that! What is the fucking point of doing progressive and innovative things if you're just gonna pretend they didn't happen 2 games later and try to score innovation points a second time? It's not progressive if you're progressing to the place where we already fucking are, genius! I'm genuinely mad about this. I've got no more room to snark about Beyond Good and Evil 2 now, and it's Assassin's Creed Odyssey's fault. You know why I still do these rundowns every year. It's because gamers as consumers have conceded too much fucking ground. And what counts as acceptable standard business practice inches more and more toward Fort Bullshit Tennessee every year. 20 years ago, the relationship was play 1/3 of our game for free, as much as you like, and then consider paying this unworthy mortal $20 insignificant for the rest, your grace. And somehow that's turned into pay in full now, stinking plebs, because we showed you a logo. You can't have it for 6 months, and then you have to pay another $10 for the special helmet with a bell end on the front, so everyone knows what a cockhead you are. The pushback against loot boxes was a good start, but how about this? Let's all stop pre-ordering stuff. Just for a year, 6 months maybe, trial period. If you're tempted, ask yourself, can I envision a scenario in which my decision to purchase this game might ultimately hinge on whether or not I can play it while wearing a special pre-order cock helmet? At least consider it, so that next year I'm not saying, hey guys, how about we all stop ticking the box that says Sony have the exclusive ownership rights to our blood?